Hey, welcome to the Ransom Experience. My name is Matt Armbruster, Executive Director of Ransom Ministries. You're going to hear stories from people that we've served and people that serve alongside us, as well as those that we partner with throughout our community. You're going to hear about decisions they made throughout their life and things that happened through different avenues of their life that caused them to go down a path that they didn't see themselves going. Ransom Ministries empowers people to utilize their God-given gifts and talents in their career and for their community. All along the way, we learn how to help those close to us and also maybe even help ourselves. This is raw. This is real. This is Ransom.
With every star, we are born again.
Good morning. We're here at the Ransom Experience after a long layover, layoff, whatever you want to call it. And we haven't been around for a couple years, our last episode. So today I have my lovely, beautiful wife in the studio with me. And she is going to be the questionnaire person.
Yes, I'm going to be asking the questions today. I didn't realize it had already been 2 years. Are you sure it's been 2 years since the last
I think my last episode was in September of 2022. Pretty sure,
that would be
but I'll have to go back and
exactly
look.
2 years.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Well, we're so happy to be back. So glad to have you back, Matt.
Oh, yeah. I'm so
in the
glad to be
podcast
back
booth.
with you.
New podcast room. You think you're one of the Kelsey brothers now or what? I mean, yeah.
Well, I'm one of them, maybe.
Maybe you could be a third brother.
That's right.
All right. So tell people what they can expect from the podcast series now that you're back.
Okay, so we've been really kind of thinking about what we need to bring in our podcast now. You know, we've done stories in the past, just strictly stories. But now we want to kind of bring you the stories, but also bring you professionals throughout the community, whether it be mental health, therapists or, parole officers,
right.
Police force. And we'd like to get those types of people on our program to show the battle and the how hard it is to get people re-entered into society. Also bring in some people that maybe do, addiction counseling, rehab.
Okay.
They run rehabs. So anybody out there listening that fits into those things, we'd love to have you on our show.
Sure, yeah, they could come be a guest. That'd be great. Okay, so just to recap, so if we have some new listeners, then tell us a little bit. You and I did a conversation about the history and how we started Ransom, but kind of recap that for anybody that might be new and listening for the first time and has no idea, like, what is Ransom?
Okay, first of all, if I knew what episode that was, we could send them to it, which probably a good podcaster would have looked that up.
Yep, but it is on the website. I'm sure you can go back and find it on the website.
Yeah, so recapping.
Or we'll put it on there.
We've, we started out as Ransom Cafe. We were feeding people, then we got the clean machine, and we were pulling it around, letting people take showers and do laundry. Then we realized that, hey, we need to put people to work, mainly because one of the people I was talking to, I asked him what we could do to help the most, and he said, quit giving us free crap. And when I started thinking about it...
Gotta love free crap.
Yeah, because everybody loves to give out free crap because it's easier to do that. It's easier to give you something free than it is to find out why you need that and how we can help you not need that.
Yeah. Well, it's a lot less messy.
Yeah.
Then you don't have to get involved with somebody and take up a lot of time with them.
Yeah, take the time.
Nobody has time.
Hurt them.
Right.
Not do exactly what they think they should do, because many times, we understand that you reach out to people and you give them what you think they need, not really what they need, instead of asking them what they need. So as we did that,
true.
We realized he said, I just want to go to work. I just want to be able to work, but no one will give me a chance. So that's back when we started in 2015 Reprogram, which was a life skill, job skill training program that helped them learn soft skills mainly in the classroom.
But what did somebody recently tell you about calling it soft skills?
Oh, yeah. He said that they're not soft skills. Yeah. We don't need to call them that because it belittles them, makes them feel like they're not important.
Right.
Instead,
and it kind of indicates like it's indicative of weakness to call it soft. Like it's not sometimes soft. Like you don't want a football player that's soft, right? You want them to be tough. And so if you call it soft skills, then it's kind of like, So
and we call the other ones like welding and that thing hard skills, right? We call those hard skills. Well, he was saying that the soft skills are more important. He can teach the hard skills. He can teach you to do something, but he can't teach soft skills. Those are things that we have to learn. So he called those, and now it just left my mind what the heck it was called. I knew you hadn't planned on asking me that question, so I wasn't there. So,
throw you a curveball, did I?
So he said soft skills instead of, do you remember what it was?
No, I didn't have the conversation with him.
Well, why'd you bring it up then?
Because I thought you would remember. Come on, you don't have CTEs, do you, Matt?
I think I do from all that football hits in my head. I don't know, but
it'll come to
me. I'll bring it up in the middle of the thing if I can think of it.
Okay, keep going. So reprogram.
So reprogram came, and then
that.
We did that, and then we realized, hey, we need to have some kind of work element, how they could work, because just like me, I hated school. I didn't really like school. I didn't pay attention. I was more hands-on. If I could learn it by doing it, then I could understand it. So we started looking for opportunities. So we did all kinds of weird things. We made crosses out of old pallets, and they were ugly because not everybody has a talent to do that.
Right. Not everybody's an artist.
Except for yours, of course. They were awesome.
Right.
And we sold those, but we didn't sell any of them that we made, which is hard to pay someone if you're not being able to sell things. So we just started looking at other ways. And one day I was praying in the shop, and I got...
Wait, before you get into recycling, I don't want to skip over the story with, we'll say T, so we don't say his name.
Okay.
Because this, meant a lot to me. It was one that definitely, broke my heart. So
so the
you want
reason...
me to tell it?
Yeah, you go tell it. Yeah,
Can I
tell it. Man,
Maybe I should tell it.
You would be way better at that than me, so go ahead.
So we were in a reprogram class, and at the time, they had to share a little bit of their story, which I think they still do today, talk about kind of how they got to Ransom and talk about mistakes they'd made in the past, barriers that they had to employment and to reintegrating into society and those things. And so this guy gets up there, big guys, bigger than Matt, and Matt's 6'3", and we won't tell him how much you weigh, but big guy.
Less than I used to.
Less than you used to. Yes, looking good, Matt. But he, through tears, just broke down about how emasculated he felt because he was living in a shed on his mother's property with his wife and could not afford to buy her basic female necessities like feminine hygiene products. He couldn't even afford to buy those for her, and just big old crocodile tears coming down his face, and it just broke my heart. I was like, this just can't happen. Like, we have to find, and you and I had a conversation about how can we put these guys to work. They can't just come sit in a classroom for 6 weeks. I think at the time it was like 4 to 6 weeks. We were trying to make it efficient and fast so that they could get to work soon, but it's like that's still too long. I mean, how can you expect people to do that and go without an income for that long? So anyways, so that's when we started all the different things, and then eventually you can go back to you're in the warehouse, or what do you call it, the bays, where at the time we were trying to do all the cross making and furniture refinishing and ruined some good furniture. And
luckily it was all donated, so it wasn't somebody's that we ruined. But, but we realized that wasn't going to generate enough revenue because we felt like they needed to get paid.
Yes.
Because of just coming to class. I mean, these other guys that when we first started, they came to class with no pay. They showed up, they did what they were supposed to, and if I look back on that class, they're all pretty much working still.
Yeah.
They're all, some are married.
The very first class, a lot of them are doing really well.
Yeah, they're still working. So one of the things, I just prayed one day, hey, what are we going to do? What do we need to do? And I got the word e-waste in my head, like e-recycle, and I had no idea what it was. So then we went and I Googled it and found out it was electronic recycling, like everybody does.
Yay, Google.
Yeah, Google. Google. Never mind, I won't go what we would normally call it. So so when I started looking into e-recycling, I realized I had no idea how to do it. So I called this place that was doing it, called Recycle Force up in Indianapolis, Indiana, and they've been very helpful getting us going.
God, super.
They gave me all their buyers. They gave they were
Yeah.
phenomenal.
Well, and nonprofit industry is a lot like churches sometimes. Like, people don't want to share their knowledge or information all the time because it is kind of a competitive and kind of territorial, and they're afraid you might take their donors or this or that. And so, but they have been super helpful. I mean, guess maybe since they're in Indiana, they didn't feel threatened by.
Yeah, which we can get that on a whole nother podcast, because I
Right.
think that's ridiculous that nonprofits don't want to work together because they're afraid someone's going to steal
Yeah.
their. But we could
Which
better
we don't
pool.
see that in our local area.
No.
I think like there is in some areas, because there are several different. Like, I know you're part of the South Alabama Nonprofit
Coalition.
And so there are several organizations that do try to pull those things together. The Alabama Association of Nonprofits, which you're a member of. And so those things are trying to get different nonprofits to collaborate more and work together. And so I think those are super helpful. But yeah, it could be a whole.
Yeah,
like,
totally.
Why not?
So we
podcast.
started recycling. 2018 was when we first got the idea. 2019's when we started our first one. We had one guy coming in there taking computers apart. He's
Yeah.
phenomenal. He's got his own business now.
Yeah.
Then we had 2 guys, and we had 3 guys. Last year at this time, we had 5 guys and women, men and women, that
Yeah.
were in the program. Today, sitting out there right now in the Ransom is 22 individuals
Crazy,
that are going
right?
through that program.
I mean, when you look back and think, so you just said, and we know, like, we started with the cafes in 2010, and like the way that Ransom has evolved, like, would you have ever thought? I mean, like,
wouldn't
I
have
think
done it.
about, yeah, right? I